Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2025 Audi A5 and its 20-speaker Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations. We're going to test out the 5.1 surround capabilities, and then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on the system, sign up below to become a Daily Motor member. We're going to record a members-only sound test on this car using real tracks requested by other Daily Motor members. So if you want to get more of an impression of the system with real music, check the link below and sign up and support the channel. And lastly, I recommend listening with headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear from the driver's seat. But before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Entirely redesigned for 2025, and not to be confused with the A5 Sportback that's also being sold this year. This is the new Audi A5, kind of taking the spot of the A4 as well, coming in 4 doors with a liftback, but kind of that sedan style. There's a lot going on with this car. So if you do want to see more on it, check the link below for our full pros and cons review. We're also going to have that members only test, as well as a dedicated highway fuel economy test on this 2-liter turbo all-wheel drive option. Now, we always do this test with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set at their factory default, so let's take a look at those now. Nice large infotainment screen here, although it is quite far away. So if I'm sitting here in my comfortable driving position, I cannot reach the screen. I have to reach forward, probably because they had to stick it all in one piece of glass here. We're on the media screen. If I go here and click this gear icon, I get sound settings. And we don't technically have any sort of reset. So, wow, look at all that. We don't need to go through that. So I'm kind of just putting everything to sort of a flat EQ because we don't have any sort of default. But you've got adjustments for treble, bass, and subwoofer. Let's go through those. That's kind of strange is it doesn't show a middle demarcation for where this is kind of flat. So I don't know if this is right in the middle or if this would be the middle. This maybe looks a little low, so I'm going to keep it there. Also strange not to have any sort of mid-range adjustment, and on top of that, no like 5 or 9 band equalizer. I would really like to see that in here. So that's all you've got. And then you have 3D effect. Now that's going to add in these upper level speakers here and kind of create more of a tall effect to the sound. So we're on off now. Let's go low, medium, and high. Then you have focus. You can either focus the music on all, front, or rear. Now that's not actually turning off the front or rear, that's just focusing the music. No driver focus, interestingly. Then you have a full front, rear, left, right fader and balance, so you can move sound around the cabin with that. Then you have surround sound. I'm actually going to skip to the next track here, let that get started. Surround is going to give you more of an around you effect. So once the music gets picked up, we'll do that. And also we've got speed-dependent volume control, so as you get going faster, the music's going to get louder to make up for wind, engine, and road noise. Some voice guidance volumes, traffic, etc., system volumes. And then, this is pretty cool, surround sound through the driver headrest and passenger headrest. So the headrests actually have 2 speakers in each headrest here, and that can be used for things like voice guidance or phone calls directed right at the driver or passenger, but then it can also be used for music. So we'll turn that on and off too now that the music's getting going. But first, let's do the normal surround. Now here's the seat surround. I think it's cool that they offer it. I also think it's cool that you can adjust how much you hear. However, I do kind of wish that they had just made sort of an optimal setting and just left it at that. Kind of like in the Mazda Miata, you've got headrest speakers, but you can't really adjust them. They've just decided what sounds best in the professional's eyes and then left it at that. So that'd be kind of nice to have. And then that is it for audio adjustments. We're going to do testing with pretty much flat and 3D and surround off, just because that's going to give us the most true to recording sound. Audio controls here in the new A5. You have a volume knob over on the right side, closer for the passenger than the driver, but not too bad for the driver either. You can press it down to mute the music. You also have volume click as well as sliding on the steering wheel. For track selections, you can move the knob back and forth. I like that. You can also use the touchscreen in the proper menu, and you've got controls on the right side, right by volume, where they belong. For audio inputs in the A5, let's go here. We've got radio, including HD radio for FM. Do we have AM radio? Let me see. Yes, AM radio as well as Sirius XM. Oh, what's the best way to do this here? We've got USB-C ports, Bluetooth, support for wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and Alexa Media. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, no USB-A ports, so make sure you bring an adapter if you're using an older USB device. No 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, and no other streaming services built in like Tidal or Apple Music, YouTube Music, anything like that. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 19-speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got door woofer 1, mid-ranger 2, tweeter 3, 4, 5, 3D speakers, 6 center speakers, 7, 8, 9 over on the right side. Coming into the back, we're looking at 10, 11 mid-ranger and woofer there, 12, 13. Actually, those might be tweeters, come to think of it. And then airplane starting off, I apologize. 14, 15. We've got 3D speakers up there. 16 subwoofer in the back. There we go, right down in there. And then, get back inside, we have 17, 18, 19, 20 for those headrest speakers. All right, before we get on the road, let's test out the 5.1 surround capabilities here on this system using the ImmersiveAudioAlbum.com surround sound demo track.
Welcome to the Immersive Audio Album channel configuration test. Left, center, right, left surround, right surround.
Okay.
LFE.
So it still puts the LFE channel right through everything, but the rear channels, fourth and fifth channels were coming through properly there. So with that, let's get out on the road. The mid-range on this system is borderline disgraceful. I had a hunch throughout listening to my music during the week of this doesn't seem to be moving me in the way that it should, but maybe something's going on with Amazon Music. You know, I'll kind of give it the benefit of the doubt before I've really listened to all of my test tracks. But listening to this right here, oh my god. There's no depth, there's no character, there's no soul to that sound. I should be getting so much more drive out of a song like this and the previous one, and I'm not getting it. And that's interesting that the system doesn't have any sort of mid-range EQ adjustment, because the mids are letting the rest of the system down. For these next two tracks though, we will turn the bass and the subwoofer all the way up and see what we get. Loving the sound that I'm getting in front of me, and I'm really actually not getting much bass either. No distortion though, but you hear that kind of ugly slap. The 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, not loving that. Muffin is out of order in this one. Wrapping up my thoughts on the Bang & Olufsen 3D sound system here in the Audi A5. Ultimately, I'm disappointed, but what it's showing me is that Bang & Olufsen, not a desirable brand for car audio. And you see it, you think, oh, this is a legacy sort of nameplate, and they've got this cool design, especially in the higher end Audis and the tweeters that come up and everything. But in the Acuras that we've seen it in now, in this Audi, it's not up to the same spec of Burmester and Bowers and Wilkins. It simply isn't. And I'm not getting enough from the infotainment system. I'm not getting enough from the mid-ranges or the bass. The only aspects this car has going for it is it's so quiet and refined, even on this concrete section of highway, that I can listen to music at a nice low, calm level and hear the upper level music come through really nicely. It doesn't get washed out in the road noise. But I'm not particularly impressed by this sound system, and in fact, I'm really quite disappointed for the price point. The only kind of saving grace, where's my media? How do I just get back to my media that's playing? I don't even know. Anyway, whatever. The only saving grace is the fact that the 3 Series isn't really any better with its Harman Kardon. 3 Series has too much mid-range, this has too little. So, for the price point, or rather, sorry, across all vehicles, any sort of sound system, this is getting a B, kind of a low to mid B. It's fine, you can jam out. The impressiveness is just really not there in the depth of the music that you want to get. But for the price point for this class of vehicle, it's getting a C-. I'm not impressed, and there are many other cars at this price point that I'd rather be listening to. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the A5, check the link below for our full review, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on.